Good morning, I am Adam Harris, and this is The Day Ahead. Don't forget to click subscribe below to receive daily market analysis videos and important alerts. On the economic calendar for today, we have Canadian employment-related data out at 1:30 p.m. Then in the currencies, a stronger US dollar may see the euro and pound pushed lower. In the commodities, both the metals and the oils have lost their recent bullishness, and this bearishness has also shown up in the global indices and equities. So how will they close out today and this week? You can jump to any chapter by clicking on the time link in the description below. In the currencies, looking at the US dollar index first, so it's sailed through 96. It's now heading into local resistance, but I think it's going to attempt either to come back down, test us for support to continue on, or just attempt to push through. And so on Fridays, we can often get a run towards the end of the close of the market. May well get that. If that's the case, we're going to see euro head lower towards 1.13, and so that'll be interesting. We'll then get a weaker euro throughout the day, and also cable having produced a bullish indecision candle yesterday off a 1.29 level as well as a 382 Fibonacci level, finding some potential support there. It's not a great candle, it's not super bullish, but so it'll be interesting to see if we get that swing low there. That could happen if for some reason that US dollar finds some resistance there. Now, I've got a series of positions I've got my eye on for essentially probably Sunday night, Monday, but they all have the Canadian dollar in, and also today we have CAD news coming out about 1:30, and so that may change this, so we'll see how it is when we revisit on Monday morning. EuroCAD, I'm looking for a potential bearish candle here to take this as a swing high as that trend continues. AussieCAD is now coming back to test a level of support, pretty crisp and clean, and a bearish candle currently forming. So I need a bearish candle and then a break of the low. That on Monday I'll be looking for that as a swing high entry to the downside. CAD Swissy, same thing again really as well. Price coming back to test a level of resistance for support. So nice bullish candle here, and a break of the high of that would then be a swing low, and potentially joining that trend. Longer looks kind of similar to a trade actually taken recently. Swissy yen producing nice bearish formation here, bearish breakout formation here. I'll be looking for a breakout to the downside there, and that potentially even during today it may actually well happen. Aussie dollar, just highlighting here with that stronger US dollar, it continues to weaken in the long run, though I do anticipate it's either going to go sideways or break to the upside, just because that very strong bullish divergence which is still continuing to play out. And Aussie Kiwi coming back down to test this level again, so we had that sort of false breakout there, and still waiting for this to accumulate and then ultimately just break out of that build up, that pattern to build up and then break out to the downside. Momentum indicators are still looking nice and bearish there. In the commodities on the move, looking at gold. So gold has now retraced this week, produced a bullish candle, failed to trigger it, pulled back, produced another bullish candle in the moving averages closer to that 382 and 50 fib. So this is not a bad area. Still need to see if it breaks the high of that. As I said before, a pullback to the 618 as well as that level of resistance, a test for support, actually makes a lot more sense. So it'll be interesting to see how this plays out. There may be an attempt to break out and then a pullback, so an engulfing candle, and then kind of a setup next week. We'll have to see how that plays out. Actually, then taking the same look at silver. So silver to me seems more likely to potentially pull back a little bit further. So I've got a larger Fibonacci which shows that we've pulled back to the 382 at least already, but actually now on the most recent swing low we've pulled back to the 50 fib here. We've produced a bullish candle yesterday. We're really looking to break and ignore that bullish candle and head a little bit lower. So the next really nice crisp support level is a little bit lower as well. So all of this kind of showing that silver might pull back a little bit further first before continuing, and actually that may be similar with gold potentially. Palladium actually doing really well, heading up to its level of resistance here. We'll see if it manages to get past that or find some resistance here and heads a bit low. So again, if gold and silver do, that will support the idea that palladium will as well, and again that would be a stronger US dollar. So a lot of little hints of why we might get a stronger US dollar today. Again, going to crude oil and just showing here that actually over the last few days it's been really hitting resistance, struggling with that and coming back down, but it's also produced a bearish candle here, and this could end up being a bearish engulfing candle, quite a strong bearish signal. If it breaks this level of support, we'll see oil actually the medium term starting to head lower. Gas oil as well producing a similar behavior in terms of failing to find support. Bullish candle failed to break the high, bullish candle failed to break the high, and bullish candle, the bulls are trying to prop it up and it's currently slipping back down there, so not having much luck. And so we're just seeing lots of hints of a potential stronger US dollar here that might impact those commodities as well. And looking at the global indices, the sentiment and the market's heating up here. We've got price pulling back into this area, so looking for this bullish candle. So again, I think I'm going to have to visit this on Monday, so to speak. But looking to see how that turns around. S&P 500 also very similar type of structure, back down to support in this area. Nice bullish candle for next week may be a good setup. The media sentiment is very bearish at this point. Kind of highlighting the big moves down, so it's quite bearish. But let's see if we do manage to find support and take off from this. Momentum indicators look nice and healthy and happy. UK 100 pretty much but sort of need a bit of a deeper retracement back to that 382 level would make sense. Moving averages as well as a level of resistance to find support, as well as potentially a nice round number of 7,000. So this is a really nice area for price to pull back, as in a healthy pullback, and it would make complete sense. The one that had quite a bearish day yesterday was the Germany 30. This is the DAX, and this one actually resulted currently in a bearish engulfing candle, which actually looks quite bearish. And indeed, if this doesn't manage to turn around today and change the shape of this candle by the close of today, we are likely to see this maybe even continue down a little bit lower. So that one looking quite bearish, but interesting. Again, then we head to Hong Kong and we end up with exactly what we've been waiting for all week. Certainly I have a nice little bullish candle here, looking for a break of the high of this. Certainly on Monday, looking to see that head a little bit higher. And Australia 200, of course, also supporting that. Does need a deeper retracement. Would be lovely to see it come back and test this level of resistance, but actually where it is now is fine if it can just hit those moving averages. Bit of a deeper retracement there, and so interesting to see that the market could still take a little bit more of a downturn before resuming its uptrend early next week. And then lastly for today, just looking at the equities in focus, this is Amazon on the weekly, and you can just see it's really struggling to get past the 1700 level. Just a bearish candle last week, a bit of indecision this week. So interesting to see how it closes up, but definitely not sailing past it at all. Looking at Netflix as well, which has been trending up relatively nicely, is still encountering resistance at its 360 level, pulling back. So we'll be looking to see if there's a bullish candle here, but I'm unlikely to trade it. The potential profit's too small, but it'll be interesting. What I'm looking for here is a longer term build up for a breakout to the upside. We'll see if that happens. If we start to break these lows, then the conditions really change. Then one I thought I would just discuss a little bit briefly here is Boston Scientific, which has been very keen to head back to its old highs here. It's managed to break recent highs. That's a bullish sign supporting it, but it still has to really manage to get past those levels. So it's got to head towards 39.50, and the fact that it has produced fresh highs that it wasn't able to get through before is in itself a bullish supporting sign. EasyJet actually now continuing on upwards. I mean, not aggressively, but certainly starting to tick on upwards. I'd like to see it get past this previous high. And then the rest of these actually having down days yesterday, so it'll be interesting to see if they recover today or not. Just showing you Lloyd's here encountering some strong resistance close to that 58.50 level, and that down day being symbolic pretty much of what the rest of them had. So I need to see how those ultimately play out. So we do actually have a little bit of, early in the week I'm going it's bullish across the board. This time now, though, there's just some signs of some areas where there is a bit of bearishness, and of course, as I said, that stronger US dollar hasn't really helped that for sure, but there are hints again of that stronger US dollar. Let's see what actually happens throughout the day today. On that note, ladies and gents, if it's trending, I'm going to be there. I want to wish you a great weekend. I will chat you on Monday. Just a reminder to hit the subscribe button. If you want to stay abreast of what's happening in the market, I'll be producing and bringing you the latest in the markets every morning in a freshly produced video.